Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com. And today I want to talk about what you plant in your mind, you will reap. This is something that is not understood. Now, people know things like, well, if I watch a horror movie before I go to bed, I might have nightmares, or if I eat some garbage food before I go to bed, I might have bad dreams or whatever. They know some of these kind of folklore type things that may or may not happen, but they do not see the bigger picture of all the stuff you are allowing into your heart and mind as you go throughout the day, each and every day, whether it's mindlessly scrolling social media or watching propaganda from Hollywood or watching some filthy TV show or whatever, reading some magazines or newspapers or watching the news or any of this kind of stuff, you are allowing stuff into your heart. And the problem for you is that it will reap a harvest. But it's not going to be a harvest of what you want. It's going to be a harvest of the things you don't want, because all those things are not bringing you goodness and peace and joy and righteousness. They're bringing you negativity and drama and discord and hate and bitterness and fear and anxiety and all kinds of evil acts, all kinds of evil mindsets and evil ways to be is getting drawn into your heart, and you are allowing into your heart via all the media and entertainment forms of the world. And to be clear, that applies to a lot of professing Christian media. Listen, there's something very important to note. There's an old saying that to know and not to do is not to know. But I want to expand on that. What if you're watching videos that you're learning something from, documentaries, movies, or whatever, things that you say, oh, I'm learning. The thing is, if you don't apply what you're learning, all you're doing is entertaining yourself. Because if you're not putting into action the things you're learning, the things you claim to know, it's just mere entertainment. It's mindless entertainment, and it's quite frankly useless. As a matter of fact, it might be worse than useless, because when you get some consciousness of a certain thing or a certain way to be, and you don't take that up and start behaving that way, behaving in a righteous manner, you just keep doing the things you're doing that don't work, that places you in a bad position. That's resisting the Spirit. The Spirit's gently leading you to go down a different path, the righteous path, the narrow way. And instead you're choosing to go down the way of mediocrity, go down the way of the world, go down the way of average. And that is not going to be blessed. That is not going to be rewarded. God cannot bless that, and He will not bless that. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Now I want you to think about this. Are you keeping your heart with all diligence? That's important. That's powerful. All diligence. Not a little bit. Not I think about it every now and then. Not every couple hours I try to center myself, or whatever things people tell themselves. Are you with all diligence keeping your heart, guarding your heart, protecting your heart? Because you can't do that in many scenarios today. You can't mindlessly scroll social media and keep your heart with all diligence, because you don't know what that next video to pop up, that next post, that next whatever, what it's going to be. Is it going to be something uplifting and edifying? Or is it going to be some garbage? Well, the world puts a lot of garbage out there, and in many cases, for every one piece of possibly good material, there's a dozen or more pieces of garbage that you do not need in your heart at all. And you're just letting it in. You're not guarding your heart with all diligence. You're not keeping your heart protected and pure, and you're allowing all that stuff in, ignorantly so, because you are going to have your issues of life, the circumstances of life, the experiences of life are going to be a result of that stuff you've been allowing in. It's basically like you've been programming, this is what I want out of life, and you're allowing all this garbage in, negativity here, drama there, fear there, anxiety there, worry there, some cruelty over here, some political nonsense over here, and all that forms into a low vibrational state and informs you into being a person of low character, low substance, low value creation, a mindless consumer in many cases, and not a active, and I should say proactive, creator who's out there diligently doing and acting and creating and guarding their heart with all diligence. What you plant in your mind, you will reap. Many people will say they know this, but they're not doing the things that would indicate they actually know it. As I said, to know and not to do is not to know. If you're not taking actions that align with the thing you claim to know, you don't really know it. That would also go with Christianity. You claim to know Jesus, but if you don't do his will, you don't know him. You don't love him. Jesus said, I will say unto you, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. And that was to people who were saying, Lord, Lord. People want to say, oh, well, all you do is say, Lord, and Jesus, you're saved by Jesus, and you don't have to do anything. No, sir, no, ma'am, that's not how it works. Because a person who knows Jesus is born again. A person who knows Jesus acts a different way. A person who knows Jesus takes up the Spirit and walks in the Spirit, walks in the anointing, and they are very different from the world, and they can't just do whatever they want. They can't just be however they want. First thing, they want to change and adapt and become more conformed to the image of Christ and not be like the world. If you've allowed yourself to settle, you allowed yourself just to let whatever come in and not guard your heart with all diligence, you need to make some changes today. You can go back and talk about, well, God's grace. Listen, God's grace will free you from sin. God's grace is not an excuse for you to sin. Gone are the days of people making excuses for sinning against God and saying, well, God's in control, or God allowed it, or whatever nonsense the world's telling you. Stop believing that kind of stuff. You must renew your mind to the truth of God's goodness. You must walk in a holy, righteous life, and you do it by the grace of God. You do it by the anointing of the Spirit who's in you, and as many as are led by the Spirit, they are the sons of God. My friend, from the very time when you wake up, what do? Are you planting in your mind good things that will reap a good harvest? Are you guarding your heart with all diligence? Are you making sure that the issues of life you're going to experience are going to be good and prosperous and abundant and blessed? Are you allowing the world to program you, the world to plant whatever it wants, whatever fear, whatever new fear things out there in the news media? And listen, let me be very clear about this, because people will tell me this because they've been programmed. They don't even realize where it's coming from. They think they've had some thought about why they watch the news. But it's not a thought. They've been told that. I remember as a kid, we used to have in the schools, we had to watch, I don't remember how long it was now, it was like 10 minutes long. I think it was called Channel 1. And they had these TVs in the corner of the room, and we had to watch the news every single day. And we were told by watching the news, we were being informed. That's how you get informed. And that is an excuse people use. They, I got to watch the news because I want to be informed. What are you informed about? What actual thing have you learned from watching the news that actually made your life 1% better? And I guarantee you, it's not one thing. There's not a thing at all. Nothing. Me, I haven't watched the news in years, and I know what's going on because people will tell you things naturally, and I'm not getting daily doses of negativity, daily doses of drama, daily doses of this propaganda and that propaganda. I fill my heart with the things I want in my heart, things that are virtuous, things that are praiseworthy, things that are true, things that are just, things that are of good report. That's what I think about, and that's what I meditate on, and that is what I allow in my heart. So I can't go mindlessly scroll social media. I can't go watch the news all day. I can't do any of that stuff because I don't want to, because I want to have a good harvest. And it should naturally flow from a renewed heart anyway, that you don't want that stuff. That's toxic. It's poisoning to your soul, and it will cause you to have a life that is not blessed. It'll cause you to have a life that is not holy. It'll cause you to have a life that is not godly and does not honor God. My friend, make sure the seeds you are planting in your heart each and every day are good. Make sure you start the day with goodness and gratitude and thanksgiving to God. Make sure you continue the day with that same mindset, and you focus on allowing only good, only virtuous things into your heart, and stop allowing the filth of the world. My friend, you can have a great and glorious life, but you must be disciplined. You must have self-control. It's one of the fruit of the Spirit. You must be a person that understands, and by understanding, implements a way to plant in your heart only the good that you want. Because what you plant in your mind you will reap. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.